It's a great question. Why? Why do we do these things? But I was really looking forward to Tulsa. I've never had the opportunity to really get out of my comfort zone and go to a race that's that big and that's, that you have to travel for and have to go and set up for it. So I was very excited for that. I figured, why let this disease and this pandemic stop us? So let's just continue forward with the training, go get the distance done, and if I can't do it with a bunch of other people and have the spectacle, I'm gonna go do it on my own anyways. So not having a pool to swim in was really a huge issue. Brought up some cramping and stuff when I got into the water and started going. It was a little discouraging, but keeping just your mental fortitude and keeping to the training and trying to keep your regular routine was so difficult when you're not able to do it with a group of people that you're always seeing, when you're not able to really have your work and social life structure in the same place. So trying to keep your training structure in the same place was tough.
What kind of distance did you put in? Because you said that you went out about 2 weeks before and actually did your first swim. I mean, you probably didn't do the whole 2.4 miles, but what kind of distance were you trying to do?
No, I worked up to it slowly. So the first swim I think was 800 yards, and then we got to 1,600 yards, and then about 2,400, and then every time I'd come out, it would get a little bit easier, a little bit better. The cramping would hold at bay a little longer. We started doing a number of different remedies for that as well, with base salts and magnesium, and I was taking cold baths at home just to try to get used to the water temperature, not knowing if that was the reasoning for it. All right, here we are. Bike aid station. Sun's just coming up. We're gonna get ready to go. Oh, we got a nice little outflow here off the road. All of our food. Whole bin full of food. And all my run clothes are here too. Let's go get the bike all prepped and into the wetsuit. Get this shit started. Just got to the swim location and got a couple deer just chilling on the side of the bike. What's up, man? I am, yes. It's the best I've ever slept before an event. Like another training day.
Yeah, fighting for parking.
Yeah, having to walk an hour before you get to the damn race start. Or showing up to my first marathon without my shoes.
See up there, Tom? You bet.
Yeah. Here we go. The swim was fantastic. It was so much like a regular training event where the water is calm. It's so different from an Ironman event because you don't have people right next to you. You're not waiting in a line for an hour beforehand. You can come down and you can get in the water and you start swimming. It was so easy. The sighting was perfect. There was no waves or anything to worry about. So when I'd look up to sight, I could see right where I was going right away. And that was really amazing. My muscles felt great throughout the swim. I couldn't believe it was already about 4,000 yards in when I was. It all just seemed to kind of slip right by. So we have an hour and 25 minutes or so for the swim, and it's a long time to think, but thankfully I had some people swimming with me, which really helped. You start to wonder about what else is in the lake with you, and if there's any all the fish and whatever else is swimming around in here with you. I couldn't have been happier with how the swim went. It was pretty much perfect.
All right. How are you feeling?
Good. My legs didn't cramp, so that's a bonus. On to the easy part of the day. I mean, yeah, not actually really cold at all. So.
Before you were done, that was the goal.
Yeah. Freshly graded. The roads were in great condition. The traffic was fantastic. But at the start of the bike, yeah, we did go over about 1.5 miles of gravel, which was a little slow, but it worked out just fine. Got going on the bike loop, and it turned out to be a little bit of a windy day, but it was mostly a crosswind all day long. Yeah, I got out on that first loop and it felt fantastic. I did that one solo, I think, and it went really, really well. Got into the second loop, went really well. Got into the third loop. I had Bradley coming with me on his e-bike, and I had my mom was riding out there with me, which is fantastic. Chad was coming with on a scooter, and we were doing some film work. And at about the third loop, I was really thankful that Chad and Bradley were with me, talking just to each other, trying to help take my mind off of the fact that something was not feeling great. So I started right around mile 30, 35, started going downhill. Mentally I wasn't there. Physically I started feeling like I was losing power. I wasn't pushing as hard. And it was just, things were harder than they should have been. I came in and the fifth loop, and that's when the rest of the crew really knew that there was something wrong.
How you doing, sir?
That was about 55 miles in,
How you doing?
and I just wanted to have a sit down. The headache, and Chad got a bunch of food in me. Kind of had to force it down. So again, I was feeling nauseous, but I think that was the savior, was just getting food in, getting something back in me. I started off on the next loop after that and got about halfway through it and stopped on the bike and got off and thought I was gonna throw up then too, but for whatever reason I didn't, and got back on the bike a couple minutes later, started going again, and from that point forward it was like a whole new game. The energy started coming back, my legs started to respond, and my mood, most importantly, I think, came back up. I started feeling positive, feeling that I could do this, and starting to enjoy the day once again. Whereas for about 30 miles there, I was not enjoying it.
How was explain the recovery though, as far as did you just sit back and think like, hey, this is what I did wrong, or what did you think happened? I mean, what was the number one thing going through your head? Was it food, or was it pond water, or was it like what did you think it was?
So after I did start feeling better, thinking back to it, I was definitely the lack of food. I don't think it was the training, I don't think it was any of that. I think it was just a complete bonk. I ran out of T1 without taking any calories in. I biked the first probably 20 miles without taking any calories in. I finally had a Snickers bar, and when I got to the point where I was ready to have a sit and just be done, I was a little over 500 calories in for the day, and that's after swimming 2.5 miles and biking for 50. So it definitely, the calories was the problem. So lesson learned there, and hopefully won't repeat that one, but I'm sure I will.
What mile are you at?
Just hit 80.
And how you feeling?
Much better now that I got some food in me. Between 30 and what was it, 60? It got pretty rough. Started really taking a downhill turn, but doing much better now. Apparently I forgot to eat after the swim. So lesson learned again.
If you got your phone on you, I might be crying for help.
Yeah, right. The weather was perfect for the bike. It was a little breezy, but the course didn't have much for hills, so the breeze was about your only deterrent. The bike course was, I thought, I chose really well. There wasn't a lot of bad roads, so you didn't have a lot of the bumps going on. The only busy road that we had traveled down, the drivers were all fantastic on, which I'm very thankful for. But it's in regards to that recovery too, I've never bonked this hard, so it's weird when you keep going and you slowly feel like your energy levels start to come up and your legs start to be able to move again. And my power level got so low in the middle there, it was like all I could do to push 110 watts. Refueling, and 2 more loops to go. All set to start running, all set with the bike being done. Actually, strangely enough, this is the best I've felt probably since getting out of the water, so things are looking up. Hopefully the run will go well, and we'll get this all done before it gets too late tonight. I slow this one down just a little bit.
You guys look great.
Update now. I am hungry again, and I'm ready to start running. We'll get one last loop done, and we'll be on to the next step.
Last lap.
Last one.
All right. And we're off.
Okay, last loop of the bike. We're at 106.5 miles right now, and just under 7 hours in. I am excited to get off of the bike. I do have Chad coming with me now. Just ready to pull the plug at that point. It was that bad. Feel good now though.
And the headache's kind of resolved.
Headache's gone.
It's gone? Yay!
Done.
Hey, it is finally. That was it was tougher than the swim. That wasn't the hard part. The bike was the hard part. Let's see. Hopefully the run won't be the hard part next. But get some food and get her started. Brand new shoes for this.
Nice.
Well, I mean they got 60 miles on them, but that's pretty much brand new. Easy changeover. Just trying to set up the live track, and it's like nothing. Guess there's no live track today.
Damn it. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Fun.
Oh, black.
Thank you. You and your hat.
Yeah, this is my mom, Rosie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I hear you're just a wizard at this.
He is.
He's done a few.
I've done a couple.
Okay.
All right, so you made it through the bike. You got 112 miles in, and you get to the run. What did you feel like when you just threw your shoes on and had to take off?
Yeah, so in the run transition, felt great. I was so excited to get off the bike and start running, and started off at a really good pace. That happened last year at Ironman Madison too. It started off real hot and kind of kept her going then, but I was hopeful it was going to kind of turn into the same sort of run, keep it going, and just keep pushing through it. But started off great, fantastic. It was a really short course, that 1 mile out, 1 mile back, so when you turned around you could see the aid station again. It was kind of interesting mentally, but it was also good because you knew exactly how far you had to go every time. It's like 2 miles and I get food, 2 miles and I get food. Well, what do we got in? 8? 8 in.
10 in.
10 in, all right.
I've got 8 in.
So 5 loops done, 8 to go. That's where the 8 came in. And doing good. We'll go get the half marathon done here soon. And just keep running up and down this road. Up and down the road. Straight shot. Not much to look at. Up and down the road. It's right though. Gotta get ready for Washington Island somehow. Thanks. Thanks, Steve. All right, just about at the turnaround. There'll be 4.5 loops left, 9 miles left. Oh, watch. There it goes. Trade you.
Temp was around 64 when I jumped in the truck before.
Okay.
65. So perfect.
Great temperature.
Yeah.
Sunshine all day. The weather leading up all day for the run was great. The wind all died off, but it was weather-wise it was fantastic. Those last 2 miles were, so excited to get to those last 2 miles. I'd spent a long time out there and had a lot of people running with me all day. Took 2 miles to walk with my wife for one of the loops. My mom biked a couple loops with me. Chad ran probably like 20 miles throughout the day with me, and my friend Andy came out and ran. So there was a lot of kind of distractions there. But once we got to those last 2 miles, I knew we were gonna make it at that point. There was really nothing that was gonna stop you. Even though I was fighting cramps, I knew I could walk through 2 miles and still make it. So what I was really happy for was last year at Ironman Madison, I wasn't able to have the finish I really wanted, which was to slow it down and take in the whole event and to see my family and see my friends that were there. But I ended up cramping really badly with about 150 yards to go, and I was really close to breaking 12 hours, so I just got through that finish line as quick as I possibly could. This event, I was really happy I was able to take those last 0.2 miles and just walk it. I walked it with my mom and my wife, and Chad walked with, and that was really special to be able to do it, to slow down and just enjoy that last little bit until the end.
Keep walking right past them.
Should they do a little finish line?
There it is. 4:15. Thanks, son.
That's awesome.
Oh, that was a day. The bonk and the recovery and fighting cramps. But we got through it. Now it's time for pizza and beer.
Explain when you finished. What did you eat that night? What did you do after the race? After you got done with this event?
Yeah, so after the race, I went down to a Chinese restaurant and got not enough food. The only time we haven't had Chinese leftovers. When I got to the fortune cookies, the teamwork makes the dream work, which was the epitome of the day. That really summed it all up perfectly.